Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to day 3 of the Disruptive Young Leaders Conference. We are so happy to have you here from wherever you're watching around the world. My name is Ian Reguero. I will be your host, as well as the OC, the organizing committee president for this event. For this opening ceremony, I will be taking you through the past 2 days, as well as what to expect from today. But I'm not alone. I have someone else here with me. She is also part of the organizing committee under ER, which is External Relations. Her name is Nicole Kibiwot. How are you, Nicole?
I am fine, thank you, Mr. OCP. How are you?
I am very fine. Are you excited for today?
Yes, I am excited. I won't lie, I'm a bit tensed up, but God, we have come quite a long way.
Yeah, man, we really have. It's been quite some time. But I would like, before we even get into what we're going to do today, let's just have a small rundown, or like a small, we reminisce about what has happened the past few days. So if I may ask you, what do you think was your favorite sessions for both day 1 and day 2?
My favorite sessions for day 1 and day 2 was, especially for day 1, was when we were interacting on the human rights part. Mm-hmm. The conversations between Tamara and Michelle were just on point. Like, oh my God, I felt like they were speaking to me on a much, an elevated level. Mm-hmm. For day 2, I would say was yesterday when we hosted an international conference with Isaac in Ghana, and oh my God, it just made my heart swell. Knowing that people around the world are actually caring and they're concerned about the things we do. It's really good. I felt those were my 2 highlights for both days.
Okay. But now, other than highlights, now what is there like? What did you think about the icebreaker in particular? I found those questions rather challenging, to say the least. Were you able to get a few?
Yeah. Okay. Partly yes and no, because there was this one with the emojis with like the plates of food or something, and then a hungry man. I was so confused, that one and Peru. There's a pear and then there's a kangaroo. I was just like, hold on, wait a minute. So I was just partly confused. I didn't know what to do at the time, but they were quite interesting. I can say shamelessly, I didn't get any correct yet. So, but I tried. I did my best.
It's okay. It's fine. It's completely okay. Okay. From my side, I would say my favorite session for day 2, especially, was when we had a session with Mr. Irungu from Amnesty International. He really explained quite a lot about human rights awareness, as well as about his own organization. So I really thank him that he was able to make it for that. It was really inspiring from my side, and I really learned a lot. So I feel like after this conference is over, I might even join Amnesty. I don't know, maybe. It's probably
if everything goes well. I mean, definitely. Man, can you hear how clear I am with these Pace earphones? Like, oh my God, they are just on point.
I know, I understand, because Pace is one of our partners. I mean, they have some really quality devices and gadgets. Headphones, as you can see, as I have some for those who are watching. Earphones from Nicole's side. So I'd really recommend Pace to anyone looking for like something to listen through. But yeah, we'll get to that, because I really want to take this point and juncture to thank Space, for instance, for helping us with this event, as well as Amnesty and IMAX. They helped make this conference possible, as I said before, and I hope that we will be able to work more in the future. Other than stakeholders, I'd like to thank the facilitators that we had for the past few days. Especially for yesterday, we had an international panel from Isaac in Ghana. So I'd really like to take this opportunity to thank Remy, Lois, Luisa, Marian Sedudzi, I hope I haven't butchered your name, and Nana. They really helped. Shed a few things on travel and what all of those. And yeah, I'd really like to thank them for joining us for that session in particular. Other than the facilitators, the next people I'd really like to thank are the moderators for the entirety of yesterday, who was Derek Chamau, Lois Angore, and Sam Bogwa. They really helped keep the agenda going smoothly without any errors here and there. But most importantly, we really have to thank the delegates, because I know you can agree, Nicole, that we are making this for them, not
this
for us.
This conference would have been nothing without the delegates, nothing.
Exactly.
These are the people we have to thank most, because you guys took your time, you guys cut off everything you were doing for the day. If you had plans to just sit down and watch the whole DYLC conference for 3 days, my God, a big shout out to you guys, man. Very big shout out.
A very big shout out, man. Thank you, delegates, for all that have joined for the past 2 days. But today we have a really good day. But before we even get into that, still, we have a special section for shout outs. So first of all, the first shout out goes to Kemu, Isaac in Kemu. They are really active in this conference. And if I had to pick one person, I would say it would be Shaxi. Shaxi has been really active in both the comments, the live chat, as well as all the way back in the group chat. She has been really there, really active. I'd like to thank her and hope that she can be able to join us in more conferences in the future. I'd also like to give a special shout out to Cassie, who was the first to log in today. So Cassie, if you're watching this, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being punctual. Again, this is for you and the rest of the delegates. Also, another shout out to Isaac in Ghana. They really helped in the session, especially the second part of the day of the agenda. They really helped a lot. And finally, but last but not least, I'd like to thank Bernard Karigo, who was the managing director of Kudu Safaris, who came to talk to us a bit about travel. It really also helped quite a bit. But other than that, I think that is all the thanks I can give for today. But again, just a big collective thank you for everyone that has been involved in this conference so far. So now I think we can go to the next part, which is now where you are. I guess, Nicole, you're reading the agenda for the day. So yes. If you may, please.
So today we have quite an amazing program lined up for you guys. First of all, we'd be having the speakers, which is our esteemed executive board for ISEC in Daystar. Oh my God, these people are, I don't know, since I joined ISEC, I feel like as though they've just been a really huge part of me. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional, but oh my God,
it's okay.
EB Kairos is like, oh God, I hope next year's EB will match this level of hype and stuff. And Osi Kaimana. So we'll be introducing you guys to Global Village. The speakers will be my very own VP for UAR, Constance Koske. Oh my God. Again, I'm getting emotional, but so we'll be having her as our speaker, and the agenda lineup will be done by Lisa Otieno. Rules of engagement would also be done by Lisa Otieno. And session 2, we'd be having pressure of success among the youth from 11:05 to 12:30 p.m. And our host again, Constance Koske. Oh my God, I feel like we should clap, but we can't. Our
send
speaker
a clap
will
in the
be,
chat. For those who are watching, send
please,
a clap in the chat.
those who are watching, clap kwa chat, Our host, the speakers will be Sheila Kwamboka, our very own Robert Burale. I know you guys are psyched up for this, man. Ooh, guy. We'd have Sandra Nyanchoka, Dr. Ofweneke, the eagle himself, Brian Ogana, and that'll be the end of that session till 12:30 p.m. to 12:45 will be question and answer session. Session 3 of this day will be pressure of success among in the entertainment industry. Sorry, this will be happening from 1 30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Our host will be Sheila Kwamboka, aka Kwambox, guys. Speakers will be Eric Omondi, Willis Raburu. I'm sorry if I butchered I know I butchered the name right there. Aki hapo nimebutcher your jina. Willis Raburu, and Aunt Stella Karimi. And from 2:30 to 2:45 will be question and answer session. And that will be the end of DYLC, sadly.
Ah, my God, it's been a ride to get here, hasn't it?
Months and months and months of planning and organizing and all this, and I have to say it feels amazing but sad, but amazing still. Yeah.
True. If I can ask you, what session are you most excited for today?
Personally, I'm more excited for the pressure of success among the youth. I mean, we'd be having people like Robert Burale, my guy. I mean, what that is like the peak of, like, let's all just tune in and listen to him open up and pour to us his words of wisdom, Yeah.
True. For me, I feel like my most anticipated session is pretty much the entire day. The entire day is just going to be amazing because everything is just pressure of success. That's pretty much the theme for the day. So I am really excited.
Considering the fact that, society has really kept us in a spot where, you have to be successful by 25 or, have some measure of success before you fika 30. You're just there like, okay.
I understand. But man, I am really excited for today. Please stay tuned. Stay tuned for more in terms of the sessions and whatnot. Remember, at the end of all of this, there will still be a closing ceremony that you will still be able to see me finish this whole conference off. Felt like it would only be fitting. But I'm really waiting to see how this day goes by. I really wish that it becomes really successful, the most successful day out of all of them. But I'm just excited. But
and I definitely can't wait to see you guys on the chat box, man. Ooh-wee.
But still, I cannot emphasize to you how much we really like to thank again for the final time. I know I will sound like I'm repeating, but it's just so close to my heart. I'd like to thank everyone involved, stakeholders like Pace, because as you can see, merchandise. The merchandise is right over here. Send a Pace in the
DYLC guys, kwa chat list nataka kuona mmesema mnataka DYLC t-shirts, there's black, there's white, as many as you want.
So yeah, please, all of this, we'll get to thank them more about all of them in the closing ceremony. So stay tuned for that. So until then, I really hope that you stand by for all the activities we have for you today. And yeah, we will just have a good time and enjoy ourselves. So I will see you in the next session. Thank you.
So my name is Jemima Nkirota Mtisia, and I am the National President of ISEC in Kenya.
I strongly feel like we're in a position of, just reaching out.
Nights just on TikTok, doing those TikTok videos. Okay, me even I like TikTok, but
top 500 CEOs, when you ask them, what do you think about Africa? They will tell you workforce, opportunity, next frontier. So it's evident that
your boyfriend, kill me, Jonte, kill me, Jonte. What is he killing you for?
cool stuff from Africa to the world.
Hello everyone, my name is Derek Chamau and I am the president of ISEC in Daystar and also the conference manager of the Disruptive Young Leaders Conference.
Hi guys, my name is Ian Regeru. I'm the organizing committee president for the upcoming Disruptive Young Leaders Conference.
And I am here officially to invite all of you to take part in the DYLC 2020.
I, as well as the rest of the organizing committee, would like to invite you to share in this experience. The 17th to the 19th of September.
I want all of us to be part of this amazing conference, be part of this amazing movement.
This conference will be talking about some really touchy subjects, topics that are relevant to us as youth, but also to us as people of society. So we'll be tackling topics like social injustices and human rights, as well as pressure of success among the youth. So I would very much like for you to join us in all that. We will be also having a lot of fun when we are at it and discussing all these topics. So I cannot wait to see you there.
Be part of a decade of positive change and a decade of positive action. Sign up in the link below.
Hello everyone, my name is Sherman Patrick from ISEC Institute Ghana. Myself might also be present for the Disruptive Young Leadership Conference, and the topic for our conference will be human rights, social pressure, the art of travel exchange from the 17th to 19th of September 2020 on our YouTube channel DYLC. Stay tuned. Bye.
Hi guys, so welcome to day 3 of our ISEC conference DYLC. Get your t-shirts, I hope you can see. Also remember we have amazing facilitators today. Oh my goodness, wow, I am just flabbergasted, if that is a word. Yes, we have amazing Kwambox in the building with her amazing merchandise.
Oh my God. Woo, woo, woo,
Baridi
woo.
and Nairobi. She's prepared.
I never feel cold, y'all.
My guys, mshaambiwa.
Fully kitted, fully kitted.
Ndo hivyo. We have the amazing Robert Burale in the building. Mr. Coach.
Yes. How you doing? It's good. It's good to be here. I'm very excited, and I believe with the other great guys here and ladies, we will have a great moment, and we hope people will be blessed. And I'm glad to be here.
Amazing. I hope you guys have seen the logo at the back, eh? The logo from the coach himself. And then we also have
Ofoneke, have you seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen the logo?
But no, just move your head. Just move your head a little bit.
Yeah, Ofoneke, you should prepare yourself. See kutuwekea a sitting room.
You see the stairs? You see the stairs? Yeah, I'm moving on up in Jesus' name.
I see you.
Yes, so that is the amazing Dr. Ofoneke, the eagle himself. Eh?
At your service.
We also have the amazing Sandra Nyanchoka all the way from, my guys, we are international. Eh? Sandra, just tell them what time it is there so that they know.
It is 1:23 a.m. right now. So yeah, pretty late, but I'm usually up late. So it's fine. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm looking
Nice.
Fornicate.
Yeah. What are you saying? I'm so happy to be here. So yeah.
What's your caliph?
All right, let's go.
Wow, we have not even started when you're already cracking ribs. See, you come slow. Come slow.
Peace out in the Middle East.
Okay. So before we start, I have the amazing headphones here. By the way, my guys, please let us buy Pace Africa headphones. You know they're paying my rent now. You know. I hope they're watching. So if you want to get the amazing products, just pay for them and use the code DYLC 2020 and you shall get an amazing discount from Pace Africa. Yes, as you can see, we listen to amazing music. Kwambox show in the morning. Tunazitumianga ama niaje Kwambox?
Kabisa.
Ndo hivyo. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the pressure of success among the youth. I believe this is an amazing audience and amazing facilitators that we have to take us through this discussion. So, Kwambox, let me start with you. According to you, what do you think is the main cause of depression among the youth at this time?
Thank you very much for that question. I feel like one of the biggest challenges, especially amongst the youth, I don't know if you can hear me, ama kuna makelele, but one of good. So one of the biggest challenges with the youth is there's lack of patience and discipline. So patience meaning you want to reach the destination, you're looking to reach the success rather than realizing and being loyal to the journey there, because life is about gaining skills to cope with life. So even in your job, for example, like with my job, what I do in radio, you find that people want to be on radio. Like, Kwambox, how can I be a radio presenter like you? And sometimes I don't really answer those questions because you're not patient enough to look at the journey. You don't want to ask me the journey, you're looking at how can I wake up and be on radio and talk to everyone today, So, and then if I tell you, okay, you need to put in work, the thought of the work is like, you look at it like, oh my God, all that work at this time, I'm never going to make it. And then number 2, discipline. Discipline is something that, really, like even, there's this question I ask, Prince William, Prince Harry, they were born with everything. Pretty much everything that you envision, like one day I want to own this, one day I want to own that. They were born with it. But why do they keep waking up every morning to go out to do work? If they have everything, they're kings and princes, you know, why do they need to work? That thing that gets them out of the bed, that's that discipline to know that whatever you're going to execute, you need to be loyal to it. So I feel like those are two of the challenges that face the youth, you know, lack of discipline or not wanting to be patient enough to see the outcome.
Well said, well said. Let us hear from our coach. What do you think is the main cause of depression among the youth?
Oh, I should have gone before Morale. It's gonna say everything. Oh.
Okay, Ofoneke, please go.
No, sorry, bro. No, sorry, bro.
No, thank you. To be honest, I think Kwambox has really covered it, the base very well. It's the pressure to belong, and then you want to get there, but you don't have the patience to go through the process. You want the prize and not the process. It doesn't happen like that. You will not get the prize and then the process later. Usain Bolt, people pay a lot of money, and somebody one time complained that how can somebody earn $30 million in 10 seconds? And people need to realize he's not earning $30 million in 10 seconds. He's earning $30 million of 10 years or 15 years of preparation. So we are at an age where people just want shortcuts. People, like Kwambok says, people want or to be a radio presenter, but how many are willing to go through her journey? How many are willing to go through the battle she has gotten through to get to where she is? You just can't get up there without accepting the process. Oh, she did Big Brother. She did this and went here and went to this station and this station. So until we get to a place where the young people are willing to go through the process for them to enjoy the prize, we'll just be having shortcuts, and then people will fail and get into depression because they are not getting to where their mentors and the people they aspire to be. As Kwambox has maybe had a 10-year career, but some young person who sees her on Instagram wants to get there in 15 minutes. You're wasting your time. If that is you, get your head checked very quickly.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, get your head checked quickly. Dr. Ofeneke,
Yeah.
I hope Butale has not said everything.
I was hoping there's a point I was crossing my fingers that he's not going to say it. Felix, at least RB has given me a chance to sound wise as well. So this is the thing. I think we live in a world whereby we're no longer controlled by our individual thoughts. We are more controlled by Instagram captions and quotes. Yeah, I see Burale has bought a new car, has moved into a new house, and the caption is strong. And Burale has 4,000 likes on that new house. And all of a sudden, I'm also going to take a photo out of somebody else's house and expecting to get the same 4,000 likes, only to end up with 24 likes and your pastor commenting that to God be the glory. But you don't realize that it has taken Burale 20 years for him to be able to build up himself financially, to be able to own that kind of a house. So I feel like one of the reasons why the youth today are getting into depression is because we have refused to accept ourselves the way we are. We have refused to go through the journey. We have refused to go through the tilling. We have refused to go through the sieving of the process, simply because I want fast fame, I want fast success, I want fast financial stability within a snap. That's why at times I get so pissed off when and I don't reply to those messages anymore on either on DM on Facebook of, hey, Dr. Funeke, I want to be like you. And I'm like, first of all, hold up. Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey and JacX are my role models. But I've never texted them, I've never DM'd them and tell them I want to be like you. Because it has taken them so much for them to get where they are. And number two, I can never be like them. I can only emulate their success, but I can never be like them. So we are raising up a generation that when they fail to be Ofoneke within a second, then they start doubting themselves, they get into depression. And the only way they're gonna get to let out the depression is go on Sandra's page and start writing negativity on the comment section, simply because they can't hold in they cannot hold in the disappointment that life has given to them, and so they have to let it out. So I think one of the things that is getting our guys into depression, because we have refused to accept who we are. We have refused to take the journey. We just want to appear into success within a second. Yeah.
Nice. Wow. You have some wisdom. Hey, we are sorry.
Yeah. Though it's shaved a little bit to the back, but it's okay. I kill it in your
Sandra, so what's your take on that?
So I agree with what everyone has said about the lack of patience. There's a lack of hard work among the youth of today. But I think that one of the main things that I feel is a cause of stress is social media. You know, when kids grow up nowadays, they're growing up in the world of social media. So, for example, when I grew up, I would play outside, you know, be creative, and I didn't have that distraction of, okay, if I was doing something, trying to learn maybe to play the piano and I made a mistake, there weren't like a bunch of strangers to tell me, oh, you did that wrong, you know? It was more like my, you know, maybe the person who's teaching me, maybe a couple of friends who are like, oh, maybe do this way. So there's so much more pressure now because when you post things on social media, it's not just like your friends or family, it's strangers, you know, that you've never met who have something to say about what you're doing, even though they don't know you. So there's that pressure, and then the pressure that they have of like the image of looking perfect. And we all know that everyone's social media most of the time is whatever people post is their highlight reel. They don't post their challenges. They don't post when they're having a bad day. So it's like when the youth and, you know, kids look at that, they feel like, you know, I'm not good enough. And that adds to the stress too. So I feel like those are some of the main reasons why.
Okay. And just sticking with you, do you feel like many of the role models of the youth actually just post the good things and not show the struggle or their journey to what it took for them to reach where they are today?
Yeah, I think a lot of people just post the good things. They just post when, you know, they're winning, when they're succeeding. They don't want to share the struggle. They don't want to share the behind the scenes until maybe they do an interview and then they say, you know, this is what it took for me to get where I am today. So I think that is also, you know, a problem. But again, you can't judge them for that because, you know, that's what they want to post. And I feel like a lot of people do that because a lot of people don't want to, they may not want to share that with their followers. So, I mean, it's just our world today, and it's too bad that the young people have to deal with that, you know, growing up with social media and not having that normal childhood that we did growing up.
I think just to pick it up from what Sandra is saying,
yes.
I think young people need to understand that, interestingly, I know people who, even at the age of 70, are struggling with identity. And, you know, with that thing of, you know, this other person, and identity is you know, it's, guys, sorry about that. I was receiving a phone call. Identity in terms of what Sandra was saying about, you know, social media influencing a lot. You know, not everything is about success. That's not the only reason why young people are struggling. You have, you know, broken society where, you know, even if you're focusing on, you know, you want to build something, or even, you know, you've got a great career, but you don't have, say, a discipline in relationships, that's going to be a point of stress. And you know, and relationships, I mean, how you interact with other people, you know, are you clingy, or do you have abandonment issues? And this all comes from a broken society. And I find that part of the biggest challenge with social media is, if you're a young person who's rooted in, in your values, if you have your own values, then you won't go around social media looking for values from other people. So you find that when you're interacting with social media, it's okay to look at other people succeeding. It's okay to see someone, I don't drive, I don't drive a car. And I find that when I tell someone something like that, they're like, but you're successful. I'm like, what is your metric of success? What, don't put me in because I have my own values. There are things that I look at and I see, this is what for me, and I'm not chasing success. I just want to be happy. And so I find that young people, on top of not having maybe a strong value-based system, maybe not coming from, sorry guys, someone is seriously trying to call me. Sorry about that. Maybe if the situation is at home, you haven't been raised knowing that, you are important, even without having anything. If you listen to my radio show, the first thing I tell people in the morning, even if you have nothing you're looking forward to, the fact that there's oxygen going in and out of your nostrils that nobody can take away, that is your maker believing that you are valuable. Sorry guys, someone is like out of order right now, but it means that you're valuable, and you need to look at yourself like that. So that if you don't look at yourself like you have value, then you go outside, you see something that someone else was again, sorry about that. But you see how someone else is behaving and you're like, that's what I need to be. So today you want to be a rapper because Calligraph Jones is making all the money. Tomorrow you look at social media, you see Burale doing, his thing, and you're like, you know what? I'm losing out. That's what I need to be doing. You see a kid has gendered something there. You're like, oh, I also need to be doing that. You don't have values. So every single time you see someone else achieving something, you're going to feel like you're falling short. But in reality, what are you trying to achieve? Who are you? That's my point.
Hey. Is it getting hot in here, or is this me? Hey, Mr. Coach, what do you think?
Absolutely. And just to summarize what Komboxa said, identity is an inside job. And we have a very confused definition of success, where people think driving a big car is success. You see, like if somebody hears Kombox saying that I don't drive, and then you say, but you're successful, that person thinks success is the kind of car you drive. Some of the poorest people drive the biggest cars. And I want to tell you something. It's a mentality issue, because do you know Mercedes-Benz, their biggest market, these big cars, their biggest market is in Africa. Yet Africa is very high on poverty. It's because they know very well, these big cars, our idea of success is material things. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with material things, not at all. But I'm saying we need to understand what success is first. Success is your failures and your successes, and how you got up from your failures, and how you are going from success to success after failing. Success is your value system. Success is, are you in control with what you have been called to do? You understand what I'm saying? Success is Dr. Fweneke being in the industry for years, meaning he has had to rebrand himself. I mean, that for me is success, not a flash in the pan. Success is somebody being on radio in a very cutthroat industry and still maintaining others come, others go. That for me is success. Success is the legacy that you will leave behind. Success is not Brazilian weave, and there's nothing wrong with Brazilian weave. Success is not Peruvian weave, and there's nothing wrong with that. Success is not the kind of phone or camera that you have. Success is let me tell you, in fact, the true mark of success will be known when you die. By the way, is here lies a great man, here lies a great woman. Will we remember you for the phone you had, or will we remember you for taking control of the industry, the mountain you are called to do? You become a success, and not just a success individually, but a success that was emulated by people who will take over the baton when you rest from your labors and leisures from this world. Success will be known when somebody dies. That's why, and I say this every time I get a chance, Martin Luther King was a success. If I ask any of us here, what kind of shoe did he like? No one will say he likes crocodile moccasins. all they will say is, I have been to the mountaintop and I have seen the promised land. If you talk about Barack Obama when he's gone, we'll hear, yes, we can. If we talk about Mandela today, we'll not really talk about his teardrop shots. We'll talk more on the long walk to freedom, from prison to presidency. That is success. But these young people nowadays, as Dr. Foneke says, is on the Instagram, and Sandra is they're looking over the posts, and some of the people who post things, they have stood in front of somebody else's car. They only had 3 seconds before the owner comes, and then they post it, and then you're losing sleep over that. You understand? And I'm gonna go hard on this. Some of the people, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna use Convox because I know her. I think from the days of Aga Khan, I'm sure she's surprised that I know that. Is why don't you want, if you put Convox there and then you put, and I'm gonna say this, a slay queen. Most young girls will want to be that slay queen. That's what I'm saying. But they'll not want to be somebody who has gone through the journey and have suffered, have gone up, have gone down, has been abused, has gotten up, has made mistakes, has recovered. People don't want those people anymore, unfortunately. Young people in campus, that is why you're having this young girl sleeping with sponsors and this young boy sleeping with these 60-year-old married women so that they can have good phones. You understand what I'm saying? So we just need, and I'm sure there are young people listening to us, if you don't get it together, let me tell you something, in about 5 years, you'll be done. You'll just be walking haggard and frustrated, not knowing where you're going, what you're doing, no impact. You'll be akin to the person getting lost in a crowd of 2 people, and yet you're the tallest. Useless.
Hey, hey, Dr. Foneke.
I'm telling you, that's why I don't like it when RB speaks before me, because it's always a tall order. It's always a tall order after that.
Leave me, Foneke. Leave me alone.
No, we've been brothers for many years. At this point we're stuck for life.
I know, right?
This is the thing. This is what I can say. I have I've learned to define success as success is not what you can hold with your hand. Success is what you can feel, and it's what it's basically what you can feel, but not what you can hold. You get? Yeah. Waking up in the morning is success. You get? We have tried to come up with very different definitions of what success is as human beings. And it's unfortunate that we live in a world whereby success is defined by the type of car that you drive, the type of shoe that you wear, the type of coat that you have, the type of job that your husband does or your boyfriend does, or the type of body that your wife has, and you think that is success. And I'm like, okay, fine. You're going to brag to your friends that your wife has a beautiful body, but I'm gonna ask you, when you die, just like what my big brother said, your tombstone is not gonna be written that here lies a man who had a wife with the best behind. It's not gonna be written like that. It's all about it's all about what you have achieved as a person. Success is legacy. It's what you're gonna be remembered about. You get? But then again, we have to understand that the same way that every car has its own manual is the same way that every success is different depending on the person. My success is not RB's success. RB's success is not Combok's success. Combok's success is not Sandra's success. You get? I've been in the industry for 11 years by now as a stand-up comedian. And my success is not on the number of Instagram followers that I have. My success is more on how many young lives and young talented male and females in Kenya around the world have I inspired for them to get courage to do what they can do, probably get into the industry. Me being from the ghetto to where I am today. Me living in a house that has upstairs is not success. But it's one of my celebrations. No, I just want to be real, because guys think these things are Leo. RB is my boy. This is one of my big brothers and my pillars in life. And he knows how I have had to toil so hard in the industry for me to get to where I am today. But my success is not in the house that I live. It's not in the size of my TV. My success is in how many lives have I touched. So and so the guys who are watching us need to understand that success is not defined by what you can hold physically. It's defined by what kind of legacy that you're living in this world. How many lives are you touching with whatever you're doing? How many lives are you inspiring positively? How many lives are you changing positively? And are you staying true to the calling? If you're staying true to the calling, then that's your success. My success is there are people who have gotten saved by watching my comedy clips. I don't know how. That is all. That is God's work. I get to talk to the youth, and some of them will DM me back and tell you, Fonika, thank you so much for what you said. And that is my success. But it's not defined. So we need to, the youth today need to demystify the myth of success is in the car that you drive, it's in the weave that you wear, it's in the shoes that you wear, it's on the phone that, I mean, a phone is still a phone. Oh, come on. All phones right now have good camera. A phone is just a phone. We need, oh my God. Yes. So yeah, that's my point.
Hey, wow, my God. Hey, it is getting hot. So our amazing audience, I hope you've heard. So success is what you're going to be remembered for, not what you have, not the stairs that Dr. Foneke has.
Can I just add, I just want to add something, picking from what Burale and Ofoneke have said. And I don't know how to really, drum this in. Values. When we're talking about success, right? You find that if you don't know what your purpose on earth is, and I think Constance, you can remember when we had the last conference, I spoke about this again.
Yes.
If you don't know who you are, for those who are watching, this world will mold you into what it wants you to fit into. All right. And when we're talking about the challenges that the youth are facing, you'll even look at politics in this country, right? Because you don't know who you are and what you want, you have leaders who are defining for you with their limited capacity of greed and selfishness what they think you should fit into. So you have a lot of young people going to university. Most of you who are watching are probably doing a course right now in university. And unfortunately, utatoka campus. Now, utenda in the job market, na hakutakuwa na job. And then you're going to start complaining. And what we have is a society. I see it across Africa right now. The biggest challenge we're having is youth are not being impactful with their voice because you're not saying something, you're complaining. I don't know if that makes sense. So if you look around the world right now, in Africa, you have a scenario where the African youth the keyword is unemployment, right? And these are people who have education, you're much more ahead than the youth 50 years ago on this continent. But you're the ones who are struggling more with the education and with the resources more than ever. So the question becomes, why? Right? Simply because you are not, look, I give this an analogy, right? Or anecdote. If I'm going, say we're in this group right now, yeah? And I say, okay, guys, I'm going to get snacks for us. You all give me the money, right? And everybody tells me what they want, but Constance, you don't tell me what you want. So I do the shopping, but I know you want to eat and I buy whatever I want. And then when the shopping is there, you start saying, mi nilikuwa nataka chipo. Too late. You didn't say what you want, all right? So youth in this continent, I'm going to speak on, because I speak to youth across the continent. The challenge we have right now is you don't know who you are. You're constantly looking for someone to define for you what success is, what your mental health state should be, and you should be so vigilant with yourself. For example, if you're consuming social media and it makes you depressed looking at other people winning, get off social media. You don't have a contract with Twitter. You don't have a contract with Instagram. Protect your mind. Protect your mental space. That's your soul telling you that this is not working out. It's the same thing as if you wear a shoe that is not your size, Kwani utajikaza hapo ndio uoneshe watu uko na kiatu? Hautavaa hiyo kiatu. So that's how you need to look at your life as an individual, right? Hii story ya kubebwa ka group ati sisi kama mayouth, hapana. Wewe unataka nini? We're going into an election. 2022. If you look right now, youth are pawn. Your pawns on a chessboard, right? Simply because you don't. Hakuna kitu yenye mnasema mi nataka hii. You're just saying hakuna igava, hakuna jobs, social media, mental health, mazi squeezy maisha ni ngumu. But what do you want? We unataka nini? Once you write that list of the things you want, you start to repel those things that you don't want. So it shouldn't be a conversation of Kwamboks, how did you get there? It should be Kwamboks, give me tips because right now this is what I'm doing and I'm trying to achieve. Must you be like Kwamboks? In about 15 years ago, how radio was and how it is right now, I've looked at what other people were doing and then I've built my own thing. You should be looking at what I'm doing now and build your own thing. And be loyal to, be passionate about the thing that you're good at or the thing that you say, okay, I want to learn how to play guitar. Start doing it. Be loyal to that. Not, I want to play guitar, but will I make money? What is that? What's that? You have no values. So be loyal to your values, be loyal to your passion, and then see the money following you. See your purpose unfold.
Hey. Wow. Believe in yourself. Ama niaje Kwamboks? Yes. Believe in yourself, guys.
And I can't sensitize that more. Believe in yourself. Stop trying to be somebody else. There's so many. Kwamboks already ako hapa. Sa unataka Kwamboks mwingine kwa nini? Burale is already here. Why do you want to be Burale? Be yourself. Bring that original spice that God gave you and be loyal to that originality. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Anyway, I hope you've heard.
Yes. Dr. Foneke, let me come to you now before the coach. Najo me complain sana. So the other pressure that we're facing as a youth is based on academic pressure from your parents, from your peers, from the society. People like waiting, graduation, lini, what. So how does one manage to navigate through such pressure and turn it from a negative perspective to a positive one?
One thing I'll say is this. I know there are stories that people who probably want to drop out or have dropped out, there are stories they console themselves with. Oh, Bob Colmo did not have a degree, or Bill Gates was a danderhead. I don't know who else. Who else was this guy? Among the rest of the rich people who really didn't finish up the university or something. This is what I will tell you. I dropped out of law school in third year. And not because I was there. Until today, my lecturer still assure me that I was among the best students in class. Only that, okay, of course, the comedy money was coming in too quick. And got a little bit distracted. But this is the thing. Education is very important. Because I have gone back to school. I'm going back to school myself to finish up my degree. But this is the thing. You have your own path. You have your own journey. You might be as talented as ever. You might be as talented as Dr. Foneke. You might be as talented as Sandra. You might be as talented as Kwamboks, as Robert Burale. But school will equip you even on the nitty-gritties of even how to negotiate a contract. You get? Because if you don't go to school and you just want to arm yourself with your talent, I mean, that's when you get a manager who has gone to school. The manager negotiates for $3 million and you only end up having $300 simply because you didn't even understand what was happening on the table. You get? So education gives you a shield to defend yourself. But then again, as you have your education, also ask yourself, what is working in the world today? You get? I can tell you right now, I can speak if there are lawyers who are watching. When it comes to the legal world right now, most guys who are lawyers, have had to go back to school and actually start teaching themselves about intellectual property, because that's where the world is going to. You get? We as artists, as RB and I, and maybe Combox, when we come up with ideas, we're looking for lawyers who can defend my ideas on paper, whereby I know today, if I decide that I'm gonna have a TV that is gonna be hanging hanging from the roof, then I need to protect that. But I need a lawyer who has literally gone to school and learned about intellectual property. So even them, they've had to update themselves. So you have to ask yourself, in whichever career that you're doing, what does the world need right now? You get? Because today, trust me, I'm sorry. When it comes to issues like graphics designing, I just need to watch YouTube. And after that, I can probably clearly come up with, I mean, it may not be 100% correct, but maybe I might end up coming up with a good graphic, maybe poster for something. You get? So education is important, but also as well, equip yourself with what the world needs right now. Go into YouTube, go into Google, teach yourself about digital marketing, teach yourself about who is that person behind there. Where Apple can see you with that draft chart of yours. So, okay, let me finish up. Sorry, got a little bit distracted. Let me just finish up. But this is the thing: equip yourself with what the world needs today. Make sure you're not left behind. Get into graphic designing. Get into production. I mean, right now you can. I mean, Kwambox and RB will tell you. It's funny how right now I can literally host a radio show from my house with a microphone and like a small machine. Some of us who have been radio for in the past, you had to be in the studio literally. So now you're basically telling me that I don't need to get leave. I can go to the US, go say hi to Sandra in California, but still be able to host my radio show in Kenya. So basically, yes, have your education, but don't just be a bookwormer alone. Equip yourself with what the world needs today. That's what I'll say.
Hey, Mr. Wise Man. Hey, we are sorry. Yeah, Sandra, what do you think about the academic pressure that the youth are facing?
I think that it is important to definitely follow your dreams, follow your passion, but get a degree in something else. So for example, with me, I did modeling. I was always into modeling, but I always knew that just when I get older or later on once I want something else that's more, that feels more fruitful. Let me do journalism where I can change lives, tell stories. And so I made sure I still went to school even though I was pursuing modeling on the side. So I think it's important to be a well-rounded person, especially today. Things are changing and things are continuing to change. So you need to be creative. You need to think out of the box and just don't follow what other people are doing. Try to come up with your own ideas. Try to do something that you feel is important, something that you feel is given back to the community or will change someone's life. So I think it's very important to, still follow your dreams, but finish school as well.
Wow. Well said. Mr. Burale, what would you tell our youth who are facing academic pressure?
Just to underscore the importance of education, education is absolutely important if you can afford. But allow me also to talk to the ones who would like to pursue further education, but the financial status of the parents or guardians may not allow for that. Because we can't ignore that group of people who are desperate for furthering the education, but they don't have the means. Because sadly, life is just funny. There are others whose parents are paying school fees for 3 years in a row, but all they do is go to the school to have sex and drink. Yet there are others who are desperate for that situation. And for the one who is under so much pressure to further the education, but the finances are saying something different, Dr. Fonek alluded to something, the YouTube space. Try and gather a lot of information, as much as you possibly can, on the digital space, which does not take a lot of money. You can go and sit somewhere at a restaurant, have one cup of tea, but use their Wi-Fi. But you're developing yourself. Be a knowledge seeker. The world has gone digital, so there are places you can get information. The difference is you may not get the certification, but you will get the know-how. And if you think about it, these days, sometimes when the companies have given a provision for people who have the gifting and have taken time to study, but they also know they may not have had the finances to take them to a formal academic institution that would give them tangible academic papers. So there's a percentage of chances that are kept for people who are knowledge seekers. And I want to ask people today, you know, the young people, if there's a gossip on social media, the young people coalesce around that gossip and they will type and comment and vuteni stool, let's talk about this. And imagine wasting 3 hours on gossip and somebody else is spending 2.5 hours on information that will build them. 5 years from today, that person who was wasting time in gossip will be under the whims and under the mercy of that one who spent 2.5 hours seeking knowledge. And for those who are lucky enough that you can afford and your parents or your guardians can afford to pay for further education, do not take it for granted. Because as Sandra said, she was a model, but she would know at some point that season will be over. You understand? Because there are many external factors that control that industry. Then when you get to another level, another season of your life, what do you bring to the table? You get what I'm saying? So you got to have a scope of knowledge. Don't go to school for your parents. What you do today will determine where you'll be in 5 years. And I say this to the young people. Where you stand during your youth will determine where you'll sit during your old age. Leadership is not tomorrow, leadership is today, because what you do today, nothing just happens. I saw somewhere, somebody said, if you go somewhere and see a building, it just didn't happen. Somebody took time to build that building. Your education are the raw materials. Your focus are the interior decor. And your foundation is your value system. And everything else is encompassed by understanding, as Kwambok says, your purpose. If you can put all those together and look forward, you will go far. But I'm disappointed in our generation. My heart breaks and I cry for this generation, because if you're not careful and we go on as we're doing, we will have an empty generation 10 years from today, because the young people of today are supposed to be the drivers of the economy of our country in another 10 years. The young leaders, the young people of today are supposed to be the political leaders, are supposed to be the radio presenters, are supposed to be the TV presenters. But when you're given that platform on radio and TV, what are you giving us out? You cannot give out that which you do not have in. So I hope that we will understand that education is important. If you have, by God's grace, the ability and your parents have the finances to pay, please take it seriously. Don't say, I'm just doing this for my parents. Yes, you see that Dr. Ofoneke, he's now going back to school. Yet he has created a brand. I know very top people in this country who are in school today. The day you stop learning is the day you start dying. When you sit in a company of people and they're discussing the GDP, they're discussing the economic growth of this country, and all you are saying is, oh, I'm just checking game Man U na Arsenal, Nigani Kali. That's all you're talking about. So there's nothing you're bringing to the table. When people knock up here, there's nobody home. Have fun, but build your education, have your value system, keep your focus, know your purpose. Because if you don't know your purpose, you will be conquering the wrong mountain successfully. You'll be on Naivasha Road in your 4x4. When you get to somewhere, Busia, then you discover you're supposed to be in Mombasa. It will be too late.
Hey. Wow. Hey, the wisdom. I hope, amazing audience, that you have your book and pen Hey, we have amazing facilitators. Wow. Kwambox, what would you tell a youth who wants to pursue into academics, telling them academics is the only thing? What would you say to them?
So first, I want to just touch on what Burali said.
Okay.
It's important to understand that like learning never stops. Okay. When I was in campus, I've always been that kind of person. As soon as I figured out how money operates, or I could be able to do something, I started, businesses. I'd sell clothes. I would, look for a job. I remember the first job I looked for, I was 18. I saw it in the paper, and I was staying with my mom. I used to get pocket money, but still I wanted to do something. So education never stops. Like in my job, I spend about maybe 4 hours of the day reading. I read so much. Sometimes I'm like, damn, life maybe should go Benjamin Button. You started as an adult and then you go paka, you're a kid, because then you're able to value education. But pressure from parents, okay? This is something I think I speak about all the time. You see, to your parents, you'll always be a child. I don't know if I'm making sense. You'll always be a child to your parents, okay? Meaning that your parents want to guide you and steer you because they feed you, you have never gone out there you don't know what life is, So even if you have this idea of what you want to do, if they've never had that, and you find that when you move out of home, you're really great friends with your parents because now they look at you like an adult, right? So if you say, I want to do this, they are with you, right? But if you don't know who you are, it all goes back to that. If you don't know who you are, the world will define for you who you are, right? So I remember when I was going into campus, my whole life, I wanted to be a lawyer. My whole life, I knew I was going to be a lawyer, right? But I also knew I wanted to do radio. So when I finished high school, I remember I wanted to join law school, but then I remember I was like, I don't want to read too much. So then I went to do international relations, which again, I stopped because I right into the job market. While I was studying, I'd finish a class like this. I'm like, let's go hustle, let's go grind. And so education is so key. I find that right now, I read everything. I read everything from engineering books to, I read everything because how am I able to cope in this life that is so, it's moving parts all the time. Like the moment you sit and you say, okay, I'm a radio presenter, I don't need to do anything. It's not about the degree anymore. It's not about the degree anymore. I can tell you, like in my job, I'm doing radio. I never studied journalism. But what sets me apart from someone who studied journalism? When you study, degree. Mimi, I'm ready to grind. I'm ready to read that information. I'm ready to study. I'm ready to know what the media council requires of me. But if you talk to someone who's graduated from journalism, then they know the theory part of things, right? So bringing all that together, how can you handle the pressure from parents? Simple. You have to have a conversation and see where they're coming from in terms of your future. And also you look at, what do I want to achieve? So if your parents want you to say, study law, and you don't want to study law, then you have to come with that thing that you want to study, right? And if I know some parents are like hectic. They're just like, no, you got to do that law thing. Give yourself a chance to also, because you're doing the law, it's great. The degree is good, yeah. It can really open doors for you, but also give time. 24/7. Give time to the thing that you want to do, because at the end of the day, time is something that nobody can refund you. The idea that I'm going to do a degree for my parents, also be on board. You can't do something for someone else. It's your life, it's your time. Unaweza collapse hapo kwa hiyo class maze, wazazi tu watasema RIP, lakini umewaste time yako ukifanya kitu that wasn't leading you to anywhere. So get on board. If you've been forced to do law, you've been forced to do IT, because there must be a way it's merging with the thing that you want to do. One way or the other, the degree will help.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So since I am aware that you're a parent, right?
Yes, a
Yes.
father to 3 beautiful girls.
Hey, hey. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, so what do you think is the role that parents play in diluting or accelerating the pressure in their
This is
children?
the thing. We have to. I think the conversation at times is it's not really about our parents. It's about because times are, I tend to think that times are different. You get. We're coming from a place whereby religion and education is all that mattered. From where our parents were back in the days. And now we are at a place whereby things have changed in this world today. It's your skills and your street intellect that matters right now. You get? Because I can tell you simply, my papers haven't helped me anywhere for these 11 years. I've been more of comedy. There's no school for comedy. You get? At least my education has helped me in terms of conversation, in terms of being articulate, in terms of how to present myself in front of people and how to have conversations and everything. So I think our parents, let's just say, guys, our parents have done their best, and that was to give birth to us. That was their purpose. You get? Your own purpose is now how to make something out of yourself in life. I hate it when people want to use their parents as excuse of them not being successful or them not working hard in who they are. Your dad or your mom, their work was to their purpose was to meet, fall in love, mate, and give birth to you. And their purpose is done. You get? Now it's up to you now, take it up from there and now make something out of yourself on your own. You get? Then from there, whatever you get, now go back and give thanks to your parents. You get? In terms of that kasukari, that kachumvi, that ka avocado, that ka handbag, go back now and give thanks. You get? But who you are should not be determined by what your parents have gone through. Who you are should be determined by what you want to be in life as a person. You get? But then again, it's also important for me to also put this out that if there are parents that are watching and any soon to be parent, and at least RB is here, and of course being one of the uncles to RB's daughter, we normally tell each other that again, who our children end up being in life is very well dependent on how we carry ourselves in front of our children. You get? My role every single day, because I'm a father to girls, my role every single day is that when I wake up, I need to be a better man. I need to be a gentleman. For Aisley, Faith, and Debbie to get a template of what to use when they grow up, the kind of men that are going to be approaching them. You get? I normally tell people, I make sure I take my daughters to the best of places so that when a man comes to their lives, you won't come and start telling my kids, let me take you to Radisson Blue. I mean, I've already taken them to Radisson Blue. You get? So what more can you offer?
We are sorry.
Thank you very much. You get? For me, it's about how do I carry myself as a man for my daughters to get a template of the kind of man they want to be involved with in the future. And I trust me, it's the same thing, it's the same values we share with RB as fathers. You should see us being tough on our daughters. You should see me and Lexi beginning stories and me lecturing Lexi. You should see how RB will tell me, bro, make sure that Debbie, Ashley, and Faith are like this and like this and like that. You get? But you yourself as a person, pick the good side from what your dad or your mom are, work on it, better yourself as a person. But your failure is not determined by your parents. You are responsible for your failure or your success. You're the first recipient when you win. You're the first person to feel the emotions when you win. You're the first person to feel the emotions when you lose. Trust me, unless you tell your dad nimeanguka exams, your dad will not be the first one to receive the results. When you lose your job, you're the first person to face the HR. There's no day the HR will tell you, call your dad, your mom, you have class because I want to fire you. You understand? And then again, when you receive success, you're the first person they'll call. There's no day when, let's say, Dr. Fonek has been called by the executive director, BET Awards. Like, yo, is this Dr. Fonek from Kenya? We want you to come and host a BET Awards. And they won't do like a conference call of my whole village in Huishero, Kakamega. They're gonna call me the first time. You get? Yeah. So be responsible as I live. You are responsible of your success. You are responsible of your failure. Your parents are only an influence, but you cannot blame them for your failure. I hope, unless Arbi, I don't know. I hope I've spoken sense.
After what Oponeka said, I think all that is left is us to give an offering.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That was very, that was a very, very well articulated. Yeah. And for me, is to tell parents, our work is not to decide what our children become. Our work is to help them discover what they were born to become.
Sure.
If that can enter into every parent's head, I think the future generation will be safe. Let's not try and make our children be that which we wanted to be and we could not make it. Maybe there's a parent who wanted to become a lawyer or a doctor, and because they didn't have school fees, they're forcing their children to become a lawyer and a doctor, meaning complete my dream that I didn't finish. But every time you make your child complete your dream, you have robbed them of their own dream. And that is why the Bible says in the book of Jeremiah, chapter number 1 and from verse number 4, before you were born, I knew you. Before you were birthed, I consecrated you. So there was a path set out to be. I don't know if Kwabox's parents were radio presenters, but this is her path. I don't think she would force her children to become radio presenter. You understand? Because her grace to be a presenter and to be a force in the media is hers. And that was put on her before she was born, and that's why she's a force. But maybe a radio presenter will bring up a president based on their grace and why they were brought on earth to do. And that's why I think she said something earlier, and I think that is one thing you people need to discuss. Tell people, have a conference on how to discover purpose. Because if you don't know why you were born, I kid you not, we'll be building a 20-storied building on a 2-meter foundation. If only we can do a conference with this topic on purpose, many lives will be changed.
Wow. Okay.
I agree 1000% with Burale. I agree 1000%. And I'll just say, in brief, in one sentence, how do you find your purpose? Because that's the question. Look, there are people who are 50 who still don't know their purpose. Okay? Think about it. You find, I don't know, Burale can attest, yeah? You know, they say that the youth are the ones who have challenges in this society. Guys, what any course center stage, maze? Would you have 70-year-olds, right? There are guys who are retiring and then now saying, guy, I can't move to Shago. What to do next?
Exactly.
You've been working the same job for 40 years. You've been going the same routine for 40 years. You had never discovered your purpose. You got a job and you settled, right? So even if you want to cheat yourself, okay, and say you're going to use a shortcut, maze, I mean our mocha. Still as many purpose, maze, I mean our mocha. But your purpose, at the end of the day, the reason you are on this earth, you can never dark it. You understand? It will give you sleepless nights. It will give you sleep. Even with that money, uko kwa mansion, unashanga, wewe hiyo do yote yenye uko nayo ni nini unatafuta kwa club? Uko na nyumba yenye inatosha na club, lakini kila usiku uko kwa club. Because you can't find peace of mind because the real reason, ni kama umepatiwa, nimekupigia loan, nimekwambia enda ufanye agriculture. Yeah, and you make the money, so you pay it back. What you do when you gari? How are you going to be able to pay that thing back? So you have to realize that there's a task you are given on this earth. Getting a job, you know, I would really love it if you would just merge your career with your purpose. If you're loyal to your passion, it can happen, right? And then you find. Like people come on my live when I'm at work and they're like, damn, you know, maybe I need this job. But not every radio presenter loves their job like me. You know what I mean? I'm happy in my job. Like I love waking up because I merged it with what it is that I want to do in life, how I want to impact lives. So you remember, at the end of the day, your life is in your hands. You have the option to fulfill your purpose, and you have to at the end of the day. And even if you don't, even if you attain all the whatever you call success, you will always, like, people will be telling you, oh man, you are the best the accountant, and you're like, yeah, unajua hii kitu mazee, because it's not the thing that you were created to do. You decided to go and do that thing to pay bills, but why you put on earth to pay bills?
No.
Why?
No.
Yeah. So how do you get your purpose? In short, be loyal to the thing that comes naturally to you. Be loyal to that thing. Don't be okay, me, I'm loyal. I love guitar. I'm really passionate about it. I know how to play it. But neza make do asa guitar maze kwanga tu na kama safara. You could be the one that opens that door. Remember, every door that's been opened, there was one person who was courageous enough to be loyal to their purpose. Baka watu wengine wanasema, hata mimi nataka kufanya hiyo kitu. So you have to be loyal. And a lot of youth in this continent do not even scratch the surface of their potential because you're letting people define for you who you are. Get that education, keep building yourself, but be loyal to the passion. Then guess what happens? Your purpose will unfold. The money will come. You were created knowing that whoever created you knew that you need to pay bills, that you need to eat, that you need to dress well, that you need to, buy a house. But that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be, what was I put on earth to do?
Well said, well said, well said. Sandra.
What Kwamboka said, I have a friend who studied math at Yale. That was always something he wanted to do, but his dad wanted him to be a lawyer. So after he graduated from Yale, he went to Harvard for law school. But before his dissertation, he decided to just drop out, just leave, because it was never something that he wanted for himself. So again, it's important to do what you want to do, what your passion is, because whatever your parents wanted for themselves or whatever they want from you, and if it's not what you want for yourself, it's just not going to work out. As much as you try to make them happy, again, you still have to do what you really want within, and remember what your purpose is.
True. Okay, let me ask a very silly question. What is that one crazy thing that you've done due to peer pressure?
You're asking
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Due to peer pressure, I would have to say there's so many so many different things I've done due to peer pressure. I think when I was younger, and this was before I started drinking, and I would hang out with my friends who are like, they would always drink, and I would be like, oh, I don't need to drink to have fun. I'm good. I can have fun without drinking. And then one day I drank. And that was like that pressure from everyone around me because they were drinking. And I think that that's one of the main ones that I can remember.
Okay. Burale, what about you? The craziest thing you've done with peer pressure.
Now all the bloggers are waiting for this one, right? The craziest thing I've done, through peer pressure. And I also come from a different school of thought that as long as you are of legal age, I would not always blame it on peer pressure, because then you have the power to say yes or no. But yes, they do take us there. And I remember I was first introduced to going into strip clubs when I was in the UK for my university by peer pressure, by friends who are my peers. So what I should say is that I bowed down to the pressure because I had the choice of walking away. And that took me to a very bad journey for many, many years after that. But I just also thank God through also peer pressure I managed to get out of that and just try and live a life that will be impactful. Yes. So I'm just waiting to hear also Kwambox. What's
Kwambox?
I don't know. I think she's logged off or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. As we wait for her to come back. Amepa swali. Ni sawa. Okay. So there's a question here. Please drop your questions on the comment section. I'll be asking. Is she back? Yes. Kwambox.
Yes.
Hey, ulikuwa umehepa swali.
Sorry. There was someone at my door.
Oh, it's okay. So
Yeah.
I'm asking, what is the craziest thing that you've done due to peer pressure?
All right, first, I think it's obvious, guys. Peer pressure is not really my thing. I've always been the person who pressures people to do things. Sure. So maybe you should ask
the pressure.
I give pressure, yo. You know, unfortunately, I'm the kind of person when I believe in something since I've been a kid. Like if I like something, everybody around me has to like that thing. Okay, so yeah. It's crazy. Even right now, like if I like a song, if you listen to my show, I obsess with things. Like so, if I like something, I'm like, yo, you guys, this is the best thing on the planet, and I convince you. But I have had peer pressure. I'll tell you, the only peer pressure I have faced in my life when I was in high school, when I was a teenager. Dating. So the dating scene started, right? All of a sudden you're a woman, and and there are boys looking at you and things. But I gotta be honest, I was very, very. I didn't think I was attractive. So I think when I was in high school, when I finished high school, I ended up dating people because it was the thing to do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like nikiangalia tu back, I'm just like, Jesus of Nazareth, you know, and it's just because, you know, like I literally didn't know anything, and you're hearing advice from your friends. They're like, oh, Nani likes you. Hey, okay, fine, let's start dating. And it's like, and it wasn't like what I wanted. So, yeah, so that for me, once I learned that I don't want to date someone simply because we look good together. Yeah, I was free from that. But aside from that, I'm the one who usually gives pressure.
Hey, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So to our audience, please drop the craziest thing that you've done due to peer pressure. I might feel like Kwambox, the pressure that you made people do. And the best ones will get a t-shirt from DYLC courtesy. We will talk with Kwambox on the side, like Kubali.
Yeah.
T-shirt from Pao.
Yeah, maybe not a t-shirt. Let me show you what I'll put you up.
Okay.
All right, so I've got, this is brand new merchandise. I just got it yesterday because I know some of y'all are thirsty. You know, gotta stay hydrated. I'm gonna hook you up with these two. So 2 lucky winners. One is Believe in Yourself. It's a nice flask there. And then there's one here, you know.
Hey, pizza yenyewe.
Yes. So, guys. And there are like some really nice ones, you know.
Na ni thirsty ya kukunywa maji,
kunywa maji.
You please,
yeah.
Ya kukunywa
Hydrate. I feel like more youth should hydrate. Yeah, more youth should hydrate, maze. Wache kwa kuka nini unaambiwa unakaa mazi unaka 50. Unaka 50. Kunywa maji.
Mshapata merchandise. Courtesy of Kwambox, Courtesy of Kwambox. Okay, so I'm going to take a few questions for the panel. So there's one asking, so I saw a post on Instagram saying that parents comparing their children with other children has led to people committing suicide. An example, a person A is compared to person B of the same age because of what person B has achieved, and that leads to person A committing suicide or being depressed because they can't live up to what their parents want. So what are your thoughts on that, and how can our generation get past that and be their own people regardless of the pressure to be like their peers? So Kwambox, you can start to answer that question.
Asante sana kwa hiyo swali. When I was growing up, my parents also had pressure. My parents had pressure. Me, I was like, I was a hectic kid, okay? So I was that kid who we go to family functions, unasikia tu wazazi wamechoka. So my parents were always comparing me to, why can't you be like, why can't you be like your sister? Why can't you be like your cousin? Why can't you be like this? And it really made me and my parents just, they weren't my friends. I was just like, yo, hiyo pressure yenu hata sitaki kusikia. Mbona ni compare nani? Wewe nikianza kukompea, mbona usikuika wale wazazi waliiba nini? Mbona tuishi Karen? So so if it was comparing, even me, I can compare them, okay? But when I was a teenager, this was actual stress, bro. Like, hii kitu ilikuwa inani stress. Wazazi walikuwa nani compare na wase. I used to hate people because I'm like, God damn, my parents love you more than they love me, But I just now as an adult, I look back and I'm like, I'm really great friends with my parents, by the way. We're like super friends now. I realized that they were coming from a good place, and I want to go back to that point I said, your parents will always look at you as a child. Like, if you're living under their roof, they will always look at you as a child. So any mistake that you make, nikawa nafunga, not in a bad way, nikawa nafunga kuku maze. Ukiona kuku yako inaenda kuvuka fence, maze unaambia, rudi hapa. But unanielewa. So they do genuinely, if your parent is like even trying to correct you, your parent loves you. If your parent is not trying to correct you, your parent don't love you, okay? Your parent not trying to guide you, your parent don't love you. But if they love you, they're coming from a genuine place. They want to, guide you to go the right path. So you have to recognize that, yeah? But your point here, suicide. I don't know why our young people, suicide is a resort to what? What does it lead to? Can you imagine if you're playing football and you're given a red card, then you say, I'll never play football again. Bro, you will have some red cards in life. Do you know how many L's I kula in a year? Bro, like even just this week, I had great wins and I had many L's. Yeah? But do I say, because I had an L, I'm ending it? No, you have to, if you know who you are, you're ready to come back the next day and battle it out. Arsenal know who they are. Even if they have never lifted a trophy until recently, they still keep coming back to play football because they know that they are footballers. It's not about young people, remember who you are. You will live to fight another day. So hata wazazi wakipatia pressure, we skiza. Kwa kichangu mimi nasema, maze situngekuwa tunaishi Karen basi kani kukompeana. Mbona ukuangika wazazi wakina nani wananunulia watu gari, but just remember they're coming from a good place.
Mafans Arsenal msinimeza, si mimi. Si mimi. Mumeambiwa mjui kuinua kikombe? Si mimi. Si mimi. Okay. Sandra, if you've heard the question, what's your take on it?
I agree with Kwamboka. I believe that, when your parents start to say, this person is doing this, you should do it too. They really want the best for you. They want you to succeed. And you shouldn't look at it as, they're comparing me with my cousin or they're comparing me with my friend. No, just look at it as, they want the best for me. They want me to be successful. They want me to have a good future. So try not to take it personally. I know that sometimes, the young people, they can take that personally and think, they don't love me or whatever, or I'm not good enough. You are good enough. They just want you to be better, and they love you. So
very true, very true. Burale, what's your take on youth committing suicide because of being compared with their cousins and peers?
I think it's a bigger issue. Parents as well should stop telling their kids, be like that person. The Bible, for me, tells me, bring up a child in the way that they should go, and when they grow, they will not depart from it. But also then there's the social media space where people are comparing because they see opulence in somebody's wall and they feel like they have not done anything with their lives. So I'm not rubbishing the people who get into depression because it's a great disease, to be honest. It's a thing that we need to deal with. But we go back again. And I'll still go back to what Kwamboka said, purpose. Do you know, if you know your purpose, you will not feel bad when you see somebody else achieving their purpose. You will just run on your lane. And that is why when you're doing 4x1 meter relay, 4x100 meter relay, when you step on the opponent's lane, you are disqualified. You understand? But when you stick to your lane, you can be sure you'll reach the finishing line. And I think we need to get back. Parents need to understand. And the moment an authority says to a child that you should be like so and so, you are killing the kids' confidence. You're making them feel as if what they've been doing is useless. And then you make them feel so below other people. So when they get out there, they will go with a mentality, we are not good enough to sit in the table of people who are doing that which they are born to do. So parents, please help your children become what God brought them on the earth to become, not telling them to become like somebody else. And that is why it's true, like Arsenal. I mean, do you know on Twitter, no Arsenal fan has ever tweeted Premier League champions, because Twitter, I think, has been there for 16 years. Arsenal have not won the league for those 16 years. But we are sure next year, Arsenal will come back. We may not tweet next year that Arsenal won the league, but the other year, they will still come back. And also, you got to understand the power of resilience. If you are an Arsenal fan, it shows that you can handle stress and still come back on. So I'm hoping that people will be given the morale by Arsenal fans, a team that comes every year but doesn't win, but still keep coming. One day, maybe 15 years from today, they will win. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Theodore maze, Theodore Isajo. What? Naona Theodore anasafa maze. Theo.
Please, it's not me. Eh? It's not me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So there's another question. Someone is asking, does difference in class in terms of being rich or being middle class play a huge role in increase of pressure among the youth?
Hells yeah. You know, I grew up, I always tell this story. Sisi tulihama. When I was growing up, tulihama, as in we moved a lot. But I remember one of the biggest challenges that I ever faced in my life, I remember the most painful one was when we had to sell the things in our house. I've told this story on the radio. And we had to, like, tulifanya inaitwaje yard sale, garage sale in the estate. So unajua venye mabeshto wako walikuwa wanaka kwa hiyo sofa, sa unaambia this sofa is for sale. And it's not that we are moving to state ama we are buying new things. Like, there's no money, you know? But does where you grow up and how you are raised give you a disadvantage? Yes and no. I have friends who basically had everything. Unajua, those ones used to, you go home, you're just like, shit. You're going to visit them. And then you go back to your home, you're like, shit, you know? I think I'm going to find a sponyo. But right now, when you look at the two of us, right? In terms of, you know, coping with life, yeah, you find that this person got great education, alienda sijui UK, akafanya masters, PhD, akarudi, alikuwa analipiwa kila kitu, hata nyumba alinunuliwa huko UK, but hawezi cope na simple things of how to interact with people, right? So it's great to have, you know, resources, right? I wish I had the opportunity to go to places like Yale, you know, and that be my thing. But that doesn't determine who you become. Because again, I said, the things that you have in life are not, it's not your purpose, you know? Success is not, going back to that thing we were talking about, Obama and Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela. I want to tell youth, yeah? Si kila mtu atakuwa Nelson Mandela, okay? Na si kila mtu atakuwa Obama, na si kila mtu atakuwa president, na si kila mtu atakuwa daktari, yeah? You have something in the society. There are so many things our society needs. Mina kwambia Africa ni place you can be successful because there are so many things that need to be championed. Unanielewa? There's so many things that need to be championed. Look at your streets. You have no pedestrian walks. Ni mayouth wanatembea kwa hiyo barabara. Lakini msana anataka ende university, graduate, akwe sijui nini, get do, ndio ati akwe lawyer, ndio akuje kufight rights za barabara. Are you kidding me? You can speak English. You can speak Kiswahili. You can speak. You are good to go. You understand what I mean? So I don't think your background, you're rich or poor. Maybe it can affect if you don't eat too well, you won't have good, what's it called? You won't be tall because you're deficient of some things. You weren't eating 3 meals a day. Yeah, but that doesn't define who you're going to be in life. So rich or poor, I have a lot of rich friends. Walikuwa nafikiria hata mimi ni sauce, lakini mi si sauce. You could grow up sauce. Everything I have, I've worked for it. So, yeah, you don't need to worry. Kama hauna stance maze, stance. Uendelea tu kujiskuma pali tu uko, work with what you have. Work with what you have. You will get there, but be loyal to your passion. Acha kuangalia msemo mwingine uko ati Usain Bolt anakimbia faster than me. That's why you're losing. Unamwangalia badala ya focused on your race.
Hey, it cannot be said better than that. Sandra, what do you think?
Could you repeat the question?
Does difference in class in terms of being rich, middle class, or poor play a huge role in the increase of pressure among the youth?
It definitely does play a role in stress, because I think youth tend to compare and say, well, this person has this. Like if a student in their school gets a new phone, they'll go home and say, could you buy me this phone? You know, my friend has it. And I think it's a big problem, but I feel like they need to realize that having a new phone will not bring happiness. You know, if you're not happy from within, by you getting a new gadget, that won't help. You need to work on that happiness from the inside, and realize that having those gadgets are not going to help you. And for example, like, you've seen some of the richest people, they have a lot of problems. And some of the poorest people are the happiest people. You know, they live simple lives, but they're still happy. And they make do with what they have. So just realizing that you don't need stuff. You don't need a lot of things. You don't need a nice car. You don't need nice clothes. You don't need a nice watch or a nice pair of shoes to be happy. Happiness comes from within, and the youth needs to realize that.
Words of wisdom, words of wisdom, words of wisdom. Thank you. Mr. Burale, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think I would be doing a lot of disservice if I added anything to what the ladies have said. I think they've summarized it very, very well. And just keep focus. Focus is the fuel that will drive you to the place of destiny. Keep focus, keep focus, keep focus. And just know, as long as your heart is still beating and there's blood running through your veins, you can still make it. I've seen people who have grown up with abject poverty getting to a place of power, abundance, and influence. If you can keep your focus, yes. We may not have had Weetabix like other people when they're growing up, but let me tell you, God has kept you alive. It means you still have a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just to add to that, one more thing, yeah? In life, there will be people who are better off than you. Not just when you're young, okay? Yeah. Your whole life, there will be people who will have things that you don't have, okay? So if you don't adapt that discipline in yourself to learn, to understand that, there will be people who have things. You will watch, we live in a world where there's Jeff Bezos who's going to $200 billion, right? Now, if you're constantly, saying, man, I don't have it. So, oh my God, pressure. I say, pressure your whole life you'll be pressured, because there will always be someone who has more than you have. You don't need to have everything. Just be content.
Okay. Final question. I think we only have 5 more minutes. This conversation can go on, and it will go on all our social media platforms. This is not the end of the conversation. So one more question to all of you. What defines success for you personally? I will start with Sandra.
I think success for me is the relationships that I make with people, because I feel like, once you die, that's what people will remember. They won't remember what you said, they won't remember what you did, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So it's important to make really good relationships and have good relationships with people, and show kindness whenever you can, you know, give back whenever you can. I think that to me is success, because that's what people will remember.
Burale, what defines success for you?
Success is discovering what you're born to do, because your passion is tied to your purpose, and your profit is tied to you passionately pursuing your purpose. So the day you discover what you're born to do, welcome to your life.
Hey, short and brief. Nice. Kombox, what about you?
Success to me is being spiritually in tuned with myself. I find that about 5 years ago, I realized that even if I attain everything, and you keep putting goals, and then you smash them, and then you go to the next level, it's like a video game. I find that it's not the attaining the next level that gives me the joy. It's how did I interact with people. So on a daily basis, I am constantly evaluating how I speak to people, how I made people feel, how I reacted to a situation, and learning from that on a day-to-day basis. I have day-to-day successes. If you ask me, like, do you think you're successful in radio? I can't tell you. But it won't be about are you the number one radio station? No, it's about the connections I have with my listeners, and how we discuss something and it becomes, and they say, wow, that actually helped me in A, B, C, D, E. Or if I maybe take a taxi in the morning and I'm upset, and I'm like talking, at the top of my voice, then I catch myself in that moment, and then I, find myself apologizing, even if it's the hardest thing to do at that moment, because I'm right, and I learn from that. So success is a day-to-day thing for me. Yeah.
Okay. Parting short and brief to all the youth who are watching and listening to you.
Kapow, believe in yourself. That's it. Kapow, believe in yourself. Kapow, that's it.
Burale. Parting shots.
Don't let the failures of yesterday impede your movement towards the success of tomorrow.
Will please repeat, sir?
Don't let the failures of yesterday impede your movement towards the success of tomorrow.
Can someone say amen? Woo, my God. Okay, Sandra.
Or should I add kapow? I don't know what it means, but me, I'm just following box kapow.
We'll teach you. Kapow. We'll teach you. Sandra, a parting shot to the youth who are listening.
I'd say don't give up. Follow your dreams. Think outside the box. There are opportunities everywhere. You just have to find them.
Hey. My people. And now, unfortunately, our time is up. I wish we could continue. As I said, this conversation is not the end. Please follow our social media platforms, follow our amazing facilitators. Maybe you can tell people your social media handles, each of you. You can start with Sandra, where they can reach you for any questions.
So mine is my first and last name. That's Sandra, Sandra, and my last name is Nyanchoka. That's Nyanchoka, and that's where you can find me.
Kigaki. Sandra Nyanchoka. Not Nyanshoka, okay? It's not Kwamboka, it's Kwamboka.
Tumeambiwa. Burale.
Yes.
My
YouTube is Robert Burale the coach.
Mm-hmm.
My Instagram is Burale1. My Facebook is Israel Robert Burale. My Twitter is Burale1.
Kwambooks on Instagram. It's Kwambooks on Twitter. Sheila Kwamboka on Facebook. And don't reach me, I'll reach you.
Hey, don't call me.
And make sure you tune into my radio show. If you're a young person, please tune into my show. Nasiati Tafadhali. We speak about all these things that that we always speak about these things, and there's a platform for youth every single morning you have to learn to use your voice. Si kukaa tu complain. You have to learn how to use your voice. So make sure you tune into my show, Vibes Radio, every morning, #Kwambooks on Vibes, Monday to Friday. And let's talk about these things. Yes.
Wow. Okay, before I finish,
Nampige kura. You vote. Make sure you vote.
Kwambooks for who? You're standing for which political?
See now. I told you,
sorry.
at the end of the day, it's an individual thing, okay? Individual. Yes.
Okay, guys, as I finish, as I told you, mina nalipiwa rent na Pace Africa. Na guys, please, Kwambooks, I hope unasikiza. Tunalipiwa rent hapa.
Yes.
So, yes, guys, so please go get the products, the amazing merchandise. And when you buy, remember there's a code DYLC 2020. You get an amazing discount. We still have tickets from IMAX. Guys, the complimentary tickets are going so fast. So guys, please. Kwambooks merchandise. She's even wearing it. Oh my, wow, Ibaridi Nairobi. I need one. Water bottles, if you're thirsty. Na ni thirsty ya kiu ya maji. Believe in yourself. Yes. Again, we have an amazing session being hosted by the amazing Kwambooks after this. So guys, please stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Oh my God, we have amazing facilitators. We have Eric Omondi, we have Willis Raburu, and the amazing and Stella also. And we have another surprise. So don't worry. Yes, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Remember again the challenge. The most craziest thing that you've ever made someone do or that your peers have made you do, the best two will receive a t-shirt from courtesy of DYLC and the water bottles courtesy of Kwambooks. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Yeah.